Van Gato, and I'm here with Coach Andrew Palmer, and we're discussing all things women's volleyball. So this past week you took on Dominican, and it was a very close game. And you also took on Concordia University of Wisconsin, two conference opponents. Although you guys are 1-7, you guys still have a chance to make that conference tournament. A lot of the teams are sitting around this 2 to 3 win ratio.
Yeah.
With these upcoming games, you take on Alverno, you take on Aurora. What is your team doing to prepare? Because you guys still have this chance.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's about putting our best foot forward every day. I mean, what happened in the past has already happened, and the games that lie ahead of us are still ahead of us. And so, it's about showing up every day and being ready for each individual moment, not looking too far ahead, not looking in the back, staying present and focused on what we need to do for Thursday.
And with these past couple games, you had a couple players that had high marks that have been consistently getting high marks these past couple of weeks. Sure. Perkins and Livesey both led the team both in kills for Livesey for the Dominican game and then for the Concordia University of Wisconsin game, the CU Dub. Perkins was leading the team with kills and blocks. What are you doing with these athletes that are consistently getting those numbers? What are you working on to get even higher numbers and consistent numbers, a spread for your team? Because a lot of players have been leading the offense this year.
Yeah, really, we want to find a nice balance. We want the blockers to not really know where we're going. We don't want to be obvious, except in some situations, pin to pin is pretty typical for any volleyball team. So, for us, it's about using what you do best. Rachel's a little bit of a smaller outside. She's not going to play like she's 6'3". Talking to her about what are the tools that she can do, to be successful on the outside. Jess, same thing. She's kind of bounced between middle and right side, just with some injuries and what we think might be better matchups. Just what can you do to be successful? You don't need to be somebody else. You need to be yourself. And what tools do you have that we can take advantage of?
And with injuries, your team has had some key players get injuries just throughout the season. What have you guys been doing kind of this past couple of weeks just to be more preventative? We are getting into the middle of the school year. People get sick. Classes start to pile up with midterms. So what are your athletes doing to prepare on that end?
Yeah, so we really talk about, management, time management, and load. Really when we get some extra days off here and there, we build those into our season, just so that way our body and minds are a little bit healthier. But also with that time off, what are we doing to, take care of ourselves? Whether it's training room, whether it's, a little bit of Theraflu and some extra sleep, or, just being more mindful of what we eat. Just really talking about those little things that make a difference when you're kind of in the dog days of season right now and we're, closer to the end than we are the beginning. Just how do we manage ourselves individually is really important. So we talk a lot about that.
And this upcoming game, you're taking on Aurora. How are you preparing for them? Are you working more on the service eve, the offensive end with these injuries per se? How are you preparing your team and making the most effective lineup?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's going to come down to our health and who's playing good right now. And, for us, it's about us. If we play good, if we're focused, if we're, feeling good, I mean, we're a dangerous team. And no one in this conference is undefeated. Everyone's lost a game. So, every match is important to us. And we're not out of it. And so that's the message, is that we need to put our best foot forward. And whatever the offense looks like, we'll figure out based on health. But, we're going out to win every game. And that's the message right now.
And with these games, they haven't really been blowouts. No blowouts have been really for the Cougars team. It's been close games, close matches. It's really that last hurdle, and maybe it's because of just a lot of freshmen on the court, a lot of key players, or injuries or whatever, but there's still a chance for your team to get into this tournament. And on the mental aspect, what are you telling your athletes, because it is so close for you guys to potentially be back in it?
Yeah, it's just about finding ways to win. It doesn't matter what it looks like. We talk about, hey, as a player, I want to make an impact. I might be thinking in my head, hey, I'm going to be really offensive today. Maybe that's not there, but I'm passing really well. I'm defending really well. I'm, creating some energy on the court. Finding ways to contribute is vital for us. And so, the message is every day we just got to find the best version of ourselves each and every day. And that, until we're told season's done, we're going to keep playing, we're going to keep fighting, and we're going to keep growing. That's the most important thing for this program.
Coverage for all sports can be found at CUCougars.com. This Thursday, the Cougars are taking on Aurora at home, so please attend. Coverage for that can be found at CUCougars.com. My name has been Van Gato, and this has been the Coaches Weekly with Andrew Palmer.
Without this on.
Good evening and welcome to Geisman Memorial Gymnasium for the Northern Athletic Collegiate Conference volleyball matchup between the visiting Spartans from Aurora University and the home Cougars of Concordia University, Chicago. Troy Prattley signed in the Cougar Sports Network, joined tonight by Van Gato. Cougars come into this matchup tonight 9-12 overall, 1-7 in conference. On the flip side, Spartans 14-10 overall, 7-1 in conference. This is a hot Spartans team, Van. They've won 6 of the last 7 games out here for the Cougars. In order to pick up a win here at home, what are some things they're going to have to do tonight?
For the Cougars, they really need to focus on just working as a unit. A lot of their team has had injuries. They've been sick. A lot of people have been subbing in and out. They really haven't had this consistent lineup that they need. But just consistency from the players that are in tonight is what they truly need to win the game against a consistent team like Aurora, who's at the top of the conference, tied for first right now.
And you mentioned the kind of balanced playing by the Cougars here. If we just look at the sets played margin, every single person on this team's played at least a set this year, but after it's pretty varied between 74, 68, 67, 61, several in the 40s, several in the 30s, and several in the 20s sets played, which means there's going to be a lot of rotation. We anticipate that being a factor here tonight.
One of the things that really the Cougars are right now struggling with is also with just having a consistent outside and serve receive. Their serve receive has not really been their highlight of the season, but their first contacts on serve have been. They had Perkins, who's been getting a lot of aces this season. So if they could get that first contact on the side outside, this team could honestly compete with Aurora and have a very close game like how they had with Dominican.
Well, before we get the starting lineups and national anthems, we have to address the elephant in the room. The Spartans have beaten the Cougars in 14 straight matches. That brings the total history to 14 wins for the Cougars, 17 losses. 6-6 at home, 0-14 in the last 14 matchups, Van. So this is going to be a pivotal game for the Cougars here as they're nearing the end of the season. We'll take a short break. We'll get the national anthem and the starting lineups, and we'll be right back here on the Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. We've just got national anthem and starting lineups. Let's run through those starting lineups real quick. For the Spartans, the libero tonight is going to be number 4, Kristen Erickson, number 7, Kate Dillon, number 10, Caitlin Ruse, number 12, Izzy Jackson, 13, Lulu Torres, 14, Hannah Joseph, and number 17, Aaron Henkel. The Spartans are coached by James Seidelman, assistant coach Kevin Kustra, Lindsey Simpson, and Jamie McGinnis. And for the Cougars, the libero tonight is going to be number 6, Bethany Rothel, number 3, Niva Foster, number 9, Jesselyn Perkins, number 14, Michaela Levoy, 19, Milena Adler, number 22, Katie Heidel, and 26, Brooke Christensen. Troy Prattley on the call alongside my partner tonight, Van Gato. Van, here we go. It is Hawaiian night. We are in action here in Geisman Memorial Gymnasium on the campus of Concordia University, Chicago, and River Forest, Illinois. The liberos are checking in, and we are about to be underway here.
You didn't greet with aloha.
Aloha.
It would have been on theme for tonight.
Missed opportunity already. And for the Cougars, it's going to be Brooke Christensen to start. Right to left on your screen, Cougars maroon top, Spartans in the blue. Both liberos wearing white tonight. And Christensen serve over. And the first attack tonight is going to be Torres. Hadel's there to get it. Adler. And Foster's first swing is going to be corralled. Torres goes once again. Christensen on the second. Foster once more. And Foster's first attempt tonight is going to be out. Second attempt, rather. And the Spartans are going to open this thing up 1-0.
Seems like the Spartans are running 2 libs tonight, especially doing a switch in, one for service even, one for defense.
And that was Perkins on the attack, and that one goes out as well. So back-to-back swings heading out of bounds for the Cougars. Spartans up 2-0. And there's a service error. And the Cougars, their first point of the night, comes via the service error by Reichman. And here's going to be Perkins. Cougars defense can't get that one up. 3-1 Spartans.
These deep corner shots are specifically what kills most teams. It's hard for the middle back to go court to court, side to side. So getting these shots for both sides is what they really need to do to just continue that lead. And for Aurora, their outsides are their main leading killers, and it's easy for them to paint those corners.
Into serve, that was Trinity Nelson, the freshman from West Chicago, Illinois. That was Nelson the set, and that one's going to fly out as well. As Cougars climb within one, here's going to be Milena Adler to serve for CUC. Adler to Torres. And back to Torres. Miscommunication there in the back row by CUC, and Torres is going to get her first kill of the night. And that'll take Torres back to serve, left to right on your screen for the Spartans. Ball's up over the net. Foster's got it. Set Adler. That's Eve Dickin in the middle now for CUC. The swing up top's going to be Pellman. And Rothel digs it, but back over to the Spartans. Pellman once more. And point Spartans. Get a touch.
Aurora also really has like a height advantage compared to the Cougars. Although, not to say the Cougars are a shorter team, they just have a lot of numbers up in that 5'9", 5'10". They even have a couple players around that 6-foot range, which gives them a huge advantage at the net.
And that one misplayed there by Foster, out of bounds toward the bench. Now Torres on a little bit of a run. She goes once again. That time Foster's got it to Adler. She's going to set Dickin. Dickin tips it over. Going to be set by Erickson there, and back to Pellman. At the net, Adler's got it up. Rothel over, and the swing's going to come. And that's going to be in. Izzy Jackson, the senior from Sycamore, Illinois. And she puts that down in the back corner like you were just mentioning there, Van. A real troublesome spot for the Cougars, and they're down 7-2 now here early in set one. And that's going to give you a break for CUC right there as Torres' serve goes into the net to stop her own run. Now into serve for CUC, Shaira Marin. She came in for Foster. Here's Marin. Erickson's got it. Set by Nelson. Pellman blocked, but it's going to find the CUC side.
Honestly, Levoy just needed to press just a little bit more, and that would have been a huge stuff. Bring momentum for the Cougars.
Here's Jackson. Adler to set. That's Levoy. Nelson, Torres. And tipped over there by Joseph. The set's going to go to Brooke Christensen. Aurora's doing a nice job of getting hands up and getting touches, as there does CUC as well. Set Dickin once more outside, and that one's up. Nelson, Joseph. Adler. Here's Rothel to Dickin. She'll swing, and she'll get it down. Eve Dickin.
Really, these aggressive swings. Before, the Cougars were just tipping that ball over, but to win this game, they need to be aggressive and consistent.
Here's Bethany Rothel, the CUC sophomore libero from Westby, Wisconsin, and she's going to get the first ace of the night. Bethany Rothel. 8-5 now in favor of the visiting Spartans. Rothel, that one this time corralled. There's Nelson. That's Pellman going to swing. Erickson's up. Nelson, here's a back set to Joseph. And that's going to be blocked. Couldn't tell if that was Perkins or Christensen, and Perkins came down awkwardly. She grabbed her knee right away.
Seems like someone either was under the net or just popped kind of weird, but Perkins is a strong player for the Cougars. Their leading blocker, one of their lead attackers too, and really has stepped up as a freshman.
She's going to get tended to there on the CUC bench. Looks like she is in a little bit of pain, excuse me. Well, let's take a quick break here on the Cougar Sports Network while we check this out and see what happens. We'll be right back. For the Cougars, it's going to be Harmony Cooper in for Perkins, who still remains on the bench. Rothel's going to continue the serve. The set's going to go in the middle there to Hankel, but it's going to fly out of bounds near side us here, and the Cougars are on a little bit of a run, able to climb back into this one now, a 4-0 scoring run, thanks to the serve of Bethany Rothel. She goes once again. That one's going to fall into the net. So both teams now here with a service error early in set one. Your Spartan lead will head back to 2.
Really, that kill from Dickin and that block from Perkins, although something happened with her leg, it really changed the momentum of the game. And also the serve from Rothel, just compounding points, and it shook up the Spartans.
Absolutely. That sequence there got CUC back into it, but that time the back row unable to get a close enough ball for a second touch there. As at the line is Hannah Joseph, the 5'8 sophomore from LaPorte, Indiana, LaPorte High School, as the high toss and the serve's going to go into the net once again. So that is the third time we've seen that, as Katie Heidel will now come back in for Eve Dickin, and she'll take the serve. Spartans up 8-10. Now both teams here, Van, CUC hitting at negative 100 right now. The Spartans at just positive 118, so hasn't been a great offensive showing so far for either team as that one falls in favor of the Spartans. That'll push the lead to 3.
Really, for the Cougars, it's just still remaining aggressive. They had a couple balls that were hit out early into the game, but with that, at least they're taking those hits, taking those aggressive shots, and once they find the court, it will continue to find the court.
As Rothel gets the first touch on that, Heidel and then Adler will send it over for a free ball for the Spartans, and it'll be blocked, but Christensen pushes it out of bounds.
Really tooling that block. That seems what the Spartans really do well with their hitting, is both getting those corners and tooling the block and using that to their advantage.
So back to serve is Ruse once more, and Rothel's got that one. It's Cooper's first swing. Now we're going to get a whistle here before that swing. It's going to be in the net. So the Cougars will take that point, and it'll be Christensen to serve as Foster will return for CUC now. Brooke Christensen, who opened this game for the Cougars, back to serve again. Here's Torres, and Rothel digs it up. Here's Adler out to Foster. Foster's going to swing. Aurora gets 2 touches on it, but a good swing there by Foster.
Not even just a good swing, but a great dig by Rothel.
Absolutely.
Showing her defensive prowl on the court.
As that's going to be short there, and the Spartans are just going to have to send it over softly. Where's the set going to go? Out to Foster again as she gets it down and back-to-back. Back-to-back kills for Neva Foster as the freshman is breathing life into CUC here. Early in this first set, 11-12 in favor of the Spartans. There's Christensen. Set went back to Dillon. Heidel's got it corralled. Foster again, 3 in a row. It's going to be touched. Line judge on the right side of your screen called a touch in favor of CUC, and we are even at 12. Joseph set to Torres. Christensen's got it again. This time it's going to be Harmony Cooper in the net. So the whistle will blow that rally early.
Just the defensive prowl of this CUC team really brings life to this game. They're not really the best serve receive team this year, but they just are excellent in defense, making sure they're in system, getting these perfect passes each time.
Cougars are repeatedly setting Foster there as she's going to put that one down. Not going to throw away that opportunity, hanging right at the top of the net, and Neva Foster has put this team on her back as of late. And a good job there by Adler, just knowing who's got the hot hand right now, and let's get it back over there to her. Here's Harmony Cooper on the serve. The set by Joseph. Torres. Cooper will dig it. Christensen, Foster. Foster this time into the net. Timing a little bit off there. She was significantly further back from the net than what you'd like to see normally, Van, as the Cougars just can't seem to take a lead here in this first set, hanging in there.
It's so close for the Cougars. But with Foster, with those out-of-system balls, she just needs to get a little bit back more and be more on, not under it, but going forward with these out-of-system balls.
That was a good look there, but Spartans get hands up. That's Lulu Torres, and Torres will put it down. As the Spartan bench will celebrate with their props over there, K-I-L-L exclamation mark. As here's Trinity Nelson. They're going to set Foster again. Nelson to Torres. Torres, the hot
Nice
hand.
up.
Rothel's got it, though. And Levoy will send it over. A free ball for the Spartans. What will they do? Torres once more and out. So both teams here not secretive about who their offensive preference is going to be here tonight. For CUC, it is Neva Foster continuously. For the Spartans, it's Lulu Torres continuously. we'll see if both of those teams and both of those players can stay hot or if it's going to have to be on somebody else here tonight. This time Dickin, and Dickin gets it down for her second kill of the night, and the Cougars tie the game at 15.
And this is where the Cougars really need to go on their runs. Since they're such a strong defensive team, having a lot of people above already one dig in the game, just continuing siding, making sure that Aurora does not side out and making sure that ball does not drop, just like before.
That was Lily Vance's first opportunity of the night, the senior from Heritage Hills High School in Indiana. She puts the Spartans back on top after the CUC tie, and the Torres serve can't be corralled by Bethany Rothel, who's been strong here tonight. A lot of misplay there, and Spartans push the lead back to 2. Here's Torres left to right on your screen. This time Rothel's got it. Adler will set it out to Dickin near side, and up there by Pellman. Out to Pellman for the swing. She'll just tip it over, and it'll find the floor. A wise play there by Pellman. Read the defense, found the soft spot just on the nose of the Cougar there.
The Cougars are also blocking line, it seems, making sure Alder doesn't really get that ball, so then she could be setting it. Ooh, an ace from Aurora.
As Torres is going to get an ace there, it's a 4-0 scoring run for the Spartans, and we're going to get the first timeout of the day called by head coach Andrew Palmer in his second season. We'll take a short break here on the Cougar Sports Network. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Geisman Memorial Gymnasium here on the Cougar Sports Network. We've got Spartans 19, Cougars 15 here in set 1. It is Lulu Torres back to serve once more for the Spartans. She's gone 4 in a row here for the visiting team, as that one's going to be played by Christensen off the basketball hoop and find the floor. Aurora's lead pushes to 5.
Christensen and Rotha are really splitting the court right now in serve receive. And coming from a perspective from our team, the men's volleyball team last year, splitting the court is so hard in serve receive.
As that time, Rothel and Christensen will watch it split them. 21-15, Aurora. It's Torres again. She's now serving 7 straight. Adler's going to set Dickin. Dickin's going to swing. And the Spartans get a block on it. The set's going to go outside to Pellman. Cougars get a touch. Rothel's up. Adler back to Foster. And not going to get over. Set a little bit too close to the net there. Foster, not much to do with it there. And we're going to get another timeout from Coach Palmer. This time we'll stay right here. So 4-0 run for the Spartans, a timeout. And now a 3-0 run for the Spartans, another timeout by CUC. If you're in that huddle van right now, what's the message?
I would be telling my players this first contact needs to be perfect. You need to get the ball high center of the court. Torres showing her seniority out on the court, serving the ball consistently, knowing how to hit those spots. Just get that ball up so then Foster can get a kill down, or even run your middles too. Just something to just diversify your offense, or just get the ball up. That's really what the Cougar, they're aiming for, those perfect passes, and sometimes you don't need a perfect pass. You just need a 2 or a high 1 to really run your offense.
And Torres comes into today's game with 35 service aces, so a pretty strong server. She's gone 7 in a row here for the Spartans. Let's look at the stats here. 33 attacks by Aurora, 12 kills. They're hitting at 242 right now. 24 attacks for CUC, 7 kills. They're hitting at 167. CUC, the lone block of the day. 37 points into this one. We've only seen one block, Van. Is that something that's going to need to pick up by both sides? Is that a coaching point?
The blocking for both teams? Yes. More blocks. Specifically in women's volleyball, blocking is just such an important thing. And defense, of course. It's just more about controlling those rallies, but both teams are just putting that ball down.
As that was Pellman putting that ball down, and this substitution here is going to be Rachel Livesay, and she's going to come in for Foster in the back row as Torres will come right at Livesay here to start. And Adler will send the free ball over. They're going to set back to Joseph, and Levoy gets hands on it, but it'll fall on the CUC side. So a 9-0 scoring run has the Spartans at set point.
Really just their serve receives is one thing the Cougars need to fix this set.
As Livesay will get the swing there. Come back to CUC. She's blocked consecutive attempts. Adler's going to set Dickin this time, and she just can't get it over the net. So just like that, after a strong middle portion of set one for CUC, they tie the game at 15, and Aurora comes back with 10 straight and finishes this first set off 25-15. We will take a short break here as the teams get set for set two, and we'll be right back on the Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back on the Cougar Sports Network here in Geisman Memorial Gymnasium on the campus of Concordia University, Chicago. We are getting ready for set number two here. The Spartans taking set one 25-15. In that first set, it was 14 kills to 7 for the Spartans. Both teams with 4 attack errors. For the Spartans, though, 5 service aces, only 1 for CUC. And as we were talking about right before the break, 0 blocks for the Spartans and only 1 for CUC. If there's a coaching point that you've got here, Van, heading into set 2, it was a fairly strong performance to open that first set by both squads, but ultimately 10 straight from the Spartans to take set 1. What would you have for both teams here in the huddles as we begin set 2?
I would tell each team they need to get up more on their blocks and then press. Really, both sides have been really struggling with just getting that ball and getting a touch on it and making sure they're pushing it back in the court. Although in that last rally we just saw Aurora get a lot of touches there, they're not getting these straight down blocks, and that's because they're not pressing hard enough for it to go down. Or the Cougars' defense is just very solid to pick those up. But either way, they really need to work on just pressing as much as they can.
So to serve and open set number 2 is Ruse, and that's going to go off the net. The first swing is going to be by Dick, and it's going to be touched but head out of bounds. So CUC will open set number 2 with a 1-0 lead.
And with that, too, they need to just put up a block, and they don't need to be swing blocking. With that one, it's because they were moving as they were blocking in the air instead of just going straight up. Their block drift, causing the ball to drift the other way, too.
As Rothel will serve first the set. And CUC will have trouble getting to that one. A good swing there by the Spartans. And it'll even us up at 1 apiece. It'll be Marie Reichman, the freshman from Yorkville, Illinois. Yorkville High School will serve for the Spartans right to left, and it'll be out of bounds by a few yards. And Reichman will head right back out. Returning is Kristen Erickson. Katie Hato will have the honors here for CUC. Number 22 in maroon as that serves over. Erickson's got it. Joseph the set. Rothel's going to dig that one. Here's Christensen blocked. Rothel gets it up. Adler back, and it'll be over by Hadel there. Heidel's got it. So Adler's just going to have to flip it over just to keep the ball alive. Here's Torres blocked, but on CUC's side.
It's just a press away, and both sides will get that block straight down instead of it trickling or going on their own side.
So the star of set 1 for the Spartans is going to stay busy here in set 2. That's Lulu Torres. She had 4 kills in that first set. As here she'll swing again. This time Rothel will get it up, but that second touch, we've seen that a few times now. Just Cougars unable to get to a second touch to set him up for an offensive attack in a situation where that back row does get the ball up. And, you know, that can be tough, Van. In a situation where you're just trying to get the ball up at any cost, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately for the Cougars, we've saw it a first time in that first set and then once more there.
They just need to be more consistent, the Cougars, just with their overall passing, their hitting, their blocking kind of is falling apart too, not really getting those consistent touches. Consistency and opening up on the net. Make sure they're a viable option.
That was Nelson to serve Levoy. And CUC will snag a point there. Thanks to Michaela Levoy, the junior from Kankakee, Illinois. And that'll send Brooke Christensen to the line, number 26 in maroon. She'll hit left to right on your screen. It'll touch the net, but head over. And this swing's going to come from Vance, and Vance will hit it out. Not a great offensive attack there from a pretty straightforward Brooke Christensen serve. As we're tied 4-4 here, Christensen will do it once more. That time it's Torres. Nelson will set it back to Torres. And there are just no hands up there for CUC. That is a tough task to ask the back row to put hands on that when there's no hands up in the front line. And Torres, a free swing, a free kill, and she'll go to the service line there. And Christensen will misplay that one.
Seems like also Torres hit her 1,000th kill on her overall career at Aurora tonight too.
as it'll be consecutive service aces for Torres after that profound kill. So here we go, 7-4 Torres. This time that one gets stuck in the net. So CUC will take this one now, serving 5-7. Harmony Cooper will enter for CUC.
And this is the time for the Cougars to go on this run. They've shown that when they are serving, when they have their first ball, they could go on runs because their defense is so strong.
It's Pellman. Kate Pellman, Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin. And she's had herself a pretty strong night as well. That was her 7th kill. She is now hitting above 400 for the Spartans. There's Foster. Good swing there. Torres will bring it back into play. Pellman over. It'll be Rothel to Adler. Cooper in the middle. And this time Nelson's going to send it free over. That's Hadel. Adler out to Foster. Foster swing. Torres. Nelson. Pellman. Christensen gets it up. Hadel. We've got a rally here, folks. There's Foster. Foster puts it down. Neva, Foster. A fantastic back and forth there by both teams.
And Foster loves that line shot. It's easy for her to find that court, and with her height and her hop, she could just turn and just pound that ball down.
As there's Eve Dickin. Right place, right time, and finds the open spot there right at the C at midcourt as Adler will serve, try and bring this game, this set 2 to even. That serve will tip the net there. Pellman's going to set, and Vance gets blocked there by Foster. So a little momentum brewing on the side of maroon and gold. Here's Adler. Nelson out to Vance. Vance will swing one more. This time touch, but it's going to head out. And the men's volleyball team here and the bleachers are not happy about that call. They thought that one might have been hit out. What do you think there, Van?
I honestly don't think there was any hands on that block. It didn't even seem like it went over the net. It just bounced off the net. So it's a wonky call, but sometimes that happens with volleyball.
Absolutely. And there was Hannah Joseph's serve into the net. So that'll bring us back even at 9. Here is Shaira Marin. She came in to serve in the first set. She'll do the same here, number 8 in maroon. As her serve will be over there by Erickson, set by Joseph. That was Dillon with the swing, and Dickin gives chase but can't get there. It's kind of an out of sorts on both sides there.
Yeah. But that pressing, if they just press just a little bit more, just have tougher hands at the net, they could just push that ball down and get a perfect block. Each side just so close, but not close enough right now.
Here's Ruse. Rothel will take it. Adler will set Dickin. Dickin swings. Ruse. Joseph out to Dillon. Rothel up. Adler. Here's Christensen. Christensen swing block. Dickin's got it. Adler again is going to go back to Christensen. This time a tip. Joseph. Erickson going to be out to Torres. Torres going to go soft. Adler. And nobody can get that second touch as Aurora will take that.
Just a communication error for the Cougs.
It's 11-9 in favor of the visiting Aurora Spartans. They took set 1 25-15 as Ruse will serve that one into the net. A freebie for CUC. We'll see if they can take advantage of it and go on a run. We've seen every time CUC has the opportunity to take a lead, extend a lead, it's always the Spartans coming right back. We'll see if Rothel can take this set 2 to tie and see if the Cougars can push a lead. Here's Torres. Torres will put it down. No doubt about it. Just too easy right now for Lulu Torres.
Torres being the main offensive threat for the Cougars, the Spartans, sorry. really showing her senior status on the team, showing that she could lead the team in kills, but also be just a leader on the court in general with service aces, really stepping up today for the Spartans.
And that's consecutive service errors by Marie Reichman. She's really only coming in to do that so far here early. So we'll see if that's a change or if we'll continue to see Reichman come in to serve for the Spartans as we see Torres put another good swing on one there.
Finding that gap, finding that hole, and just pounding that ball down, getting these high kill numbers, really showing why Torres is just that player for the Spartans.
As she is hitting almost 500 now. That was her 9th kill. She leads all players here tonight. As that was Vance, but this time blocked. As that'll be CUC's 3rd block of the night. In for the Cougars for the first time tonight, the freshman from Bensonville, Illinois. That's Jordan Brown. As Torres will go right at Brown. Brown gets it up. It's going to go off the hoop, and Levoy will send it over. This time Nelson back to Torres. Rothel's got it. Adler will set outside, and Neva Foster. Maybe it's Jordan Brown that can provide a spark for CUC. We are even at 13 now.
And just one change can just shake up the whole game for each side.
As Brown's serve looked like it kind of hit her hand funny, came off maybe the pinky there out of bounds. You could tell the whole way. And here's Torres. She'll serve right to left in blue. Hadel, Adler, out to Neva Foster. Pellman gets it up. Torres will bring it back in. Back to Pellman. Pellman will send it over. Hadel. Adler's going to set Foster once more. She'll have to back up. Not able to get a great swing on that one as that one's blocked. Nelson out to Pellman. Hands her up, but Pellman will find the floor.
The Cougars just need to provide a better block, especially on that outside pin for the Spartans. They keep finding that corner.
As Hadel will receive that one. Levoy's going to send it over. Blocked, then brought back. Here's Pellman to Rothel. And Foster, flat-footed, will send that one into the net. Spartans 16-3, and we'll get a timeout here from CUC head coach Andrew Palmer. Well, the Spartans will take a 3-point break into the timeout, 3 straight for the visiting team in blue. We'll take a short break on the Cougar Sports Network. Welcome back on the Cougar Sports Network. Troy Prattley joined on the call by Van Gato. And the Spartans have a 3-point lead here in set number 2 on the campus of CUC in River Forest, Illinois. As we both teams break the huddles here. Cougars going to have to figure out how to climb back into this one, but most importantly, how are they going to stop Lulu Torres for whatever play remains here tonight. She's been dominant for the Spartans. As Brown will receive that one, Levoy will send it over. Nelson, Erickson out to Pellman. Pellman swing, hands on. Brown gets a hand on as well. This is going to have to go over. Adler does send it over. Here's Nelson, quick set, Blocked by CUC. They've been ready for that the last few times, but there's a dump. And a heads-up play there by the freshman from West Chicago High School. Home of Jordan Garcia.
I'm not sure about that one, too. It looked like she's back row, and it looked like she was over the net when she set that.
As there's a swing by Foster, but it's going to stay tight and out of bounds. So out of the timeout, consecutive points there for the Spartans. The lead is now 5. And Torres to Brown. That's going to be over on Spartan's side. Nelson will bring it back there. The quick set there that time works. That's Izzy Jackson. So the Cougars had stopped that the last couple times the Spartans tried, but they don't give up. And the third time's the charm. They send it over. Here's Torres. She'll go short. And it was a wise decision as the Cougars cannot play that one either. It is a 7-0 scoring run for CUC as Jordan Brown will head back to the bench, and it'll be Brooke Christensen in for her. Torres right to left. Christensen will take it. Adler running the wrong way for that second touch. Foster, Nelson, Pellman, and Christensen will send it over. Aurora will have a good look. The quick set, there's Jackson again. Back-to-back offensive attacks there by number 12, Izzy Jackson.
Torres really showing just her prowess. One of the things that she is just consistent with her serves, with her kills, really leading the Spartans team, both on the offensive threat and also just the first contact threat.
And we'll stay right here while the teams take a timeout. And overall, in the Northern Athletic Collegiate Conference, a big loss for CUC tonight as Jesselyn Perkins, the rising freshman, is 15th in the conference in hitting percentage. And she went down early in set 1 with an apparent knee injury. We wish the best to her. Right behind her, though, is Lulu Torres. She's hitting at 205 on the season, but here tonight it's been an incredible showing. She's at 421 right now with 9 kills, 1 error.
And it's just that height that she has, her seniority on the court. It's her 4th year for the Spartans too. Just playing the sport more often, being more physically adept as you age too. You gain that knowledge that can just put you and push you above when a team like the Cougars have like a majority underclassmen team. It shows.
And Spartans are without arguably their best offensive attack as well, and that's Riley Moreno. She's not dressed for tonight's contest. She's hitting 363 with 104 kills, and that 363 mark is good for second in the conference. So both teams playing without a big member of their team, as Foster's going to bring the Cougars out of the timeout with a point. As Levoy will serve for CUC, 21-14. Erickson, Nelson, out to Pellman. Pellman up, but Christensen slides in. Hadel, Foster, Erickson, as that one will find floor as well. So back-to-back kills by Neva Foster as the Cougars cut the lead to 6. As that one will go into the net there. Michaela Levoy as Bethany Rotho will come back in for her. Erickson will head out for the Spartans as well. And it'll be Izzy Jackson to serve. Rotho will get it. Adler on the second touch. Christensen back row swing. And they'll give him the corner there for Christensen. So Christensen will get the kill. Looked pretty close there. What'd you think, Ben?
I'm not sure if that was in or out, but that was such a close call. Luckily, it went in the way for the Cougars, which this can be used to build momentum. Even if they don't win this set, they could carry this over into the next set and try to build up some confidence against this high-ranked team in the NAC.
We're going to get a conversation here, but nothing will come for it. We'll just get a substitution instead. It'll be Eve Dickin in for Hadel. So this will be for CUC, 14 in maroon. 19. Elena Adler will get the service ace there. 14 Levoy, 19 Adler. Adler will go once more. And Torres, Nelson out to Pellman. Pellman will swing, blocked. Up by CUC. Adler will set Foster. Foster swings, touched by the Spartans. Erickson out to Pellman near side. Rotho will take it. Adler, it'll be Christensen back row again. This time Erickson. Nelson, quick set. In the middle, blocked. Harmony Cooper, the freshman from here in Chicago, Illinois. Hands up, ball down.
As a coach for Palmer, I would tell his players really to start serving that weaker seam and that weaker passer, which for the Spartans really is that left side towards our side of the court.
As that attempt is blocked again, they'll go far side, catch the Cougars out of sorts. So a good call there on the part of the Spartans. Cougars caught in transition, not enough bodies on that side of the floor. Here's Hannah Joseph. She'll serve 23-18 Spartans. Cougars going to need to make a run, and they're going to make a run fast if they're going to need to stay in set 2. Adler, Foster, the go-to, and Neva Foster. When the Cougars need a point, they know who to go to. And she's been steady as she'll head out now. Marin will serve for her. Down by 4. Here's Joseph. Joseph will set Pellman. This time Pellman is on the top side of the screen, and she'll find the floor on the near side. The cross-court attack there will be true for Pellman as the Spartans bring this one to set point. 24-19, Caitlin Ruse will have the honors for Aurora. Christensen, Adler, Dickin. Eve Dickin, the senior. Some clutch swings for CUC just to keep them alive. It's been a strong night from Eve Dickin, though. That's her 5th kill of the night, 2nd on the team behind Neva Foster. Here's Rothel. Erickson. And who else to finish it off for Aurora than Lulu Torres. And the Spartans will take a 2-0 lead here tonight. That one 25-20 in favor of Aurora. We'll take a short break here on the Cougar Sports Network. We'll be back and have set 3 action. Welcome back on the Cougar Sports Network. We've got set 3 action coming up here in about 30 seconds. But before we head there, a cool moment for the Spartans and Lulu Torres in that second set. She reached the 1,000 career kills mark. Van, what an accomplishment.
Yes, overall, she's been a consistent player for Aurora. She has played at Aurora for all 4 seasons, a consistent amount. And she was just shy coming into this game with 996 kills coming into this match against the Cougars. A huge accomplishment in its own just to get 1,000 kills. But to be a consistent player for a team and lead the team in their offense is just a huge pat on the back. And it's a huge accomplishment. It's a great night for Torres.
And it's been a great night for Torres in terms of what she's been able to put together here. She's got 10 kills to the 1 error. She's hitting at 455 digs as well on her stat line. If we look at the stats across the board, Aurora 74 attacks, 32 kills. CUC 59 attacks, 17 kills. Aurora hitting at 324 to CUC's 186. It'll be Marin to open set 3 here for CUC. Right to left on your screen. Torres will get it. The first swing will be Dylan. It'll be blocked by CUC. This time, Torres. And she will get credit for another kill.
Tooling that block. Really, she has now 18 points, but 7 service aces on the night. Really taking the Spartans team, putting a backpack on it, and just carrying them throughout the night.
Another incredible stat for Torres. She's got 7 service aces, and we're just through 2 sets.
17 points, and for a team, you can only get 25. So for the Spartans, that's almost halfway. Almost half of their points are just from Torres alone.
We are even at 1-1. Bethany Rothel, the serve there is going to tip the net, but head over, and Torres. Rothel's going to get it. Adler will set outside Brown. Brown swings blocked. Rothel tips it up. Adler this time will go outside to Dickin. Dickin, a soft touch. Tip back over, but Rothel's right there. And we're going to get point CUC. A double there. Not sure if that was Joseph or Jackson.
Not a thing you usually see in women's volleyball, with it being removed from the collegiate level, just doubles in general.
And into the game for Aurora, that's number 1. That's Caroline Lippy. She's a freshman from Port Washington, Wisconsin, and she's seeing her first action of the night. As that'll bring Ruse to the line. Adler, here's Jordan Brown, and that swing will head into the net. 3-2 Spartans. So
on the other end for the Cougars, Rothel really showing her defensive prowess, getting 10 digs, 5 digs per set. That's a crazy number, especially against a team like Aurora, who's been putting up those high kill numbers right now with Torres. Getting a lot of touches is just a strong thing to do. And some of those touches weren't necessarily, the Cougars didn't really get to. So Rothel is just getting these touches, so many. It's very impressive.
As that's Hadel to serve for CUC. The set will go outside to Torres. CUC does get hands-on, so Adler will serve Brown, and Brown's going to get her first kill of the night.
For the Cougars, there's a lot of people sitting around that 1 kill mark, and really someone else needs to step up to the plate besides Dickin and Foster, who having great nights on the offensive end.
Yeah, for Aurora, they've got 4 players with at least 5 kills. Obviously, Torres leads all with 12. For CUC, you just mentioned it, only 2 players with more than 5 kills. As Marin, Adler will give chase, Rothel will give chase. It'll fall eventually out of bounds if it was a basketball game, Van. And here's Torres. The Spartans have a 1-point lead. Marin, Adler out to Brown again. She'll swing, and she'll get another kill back-to-back. Attempts, back-to-back kills for Jordan Brown.
Just using their height against any way possible, getting up on the block, making sure they hit around it. Really, the Cougars need to utilize that as much as they can, specifically against this right side block.
And Pellman there will split the blockers. And Pellman's had a quiet night, just second to Torres, but certainly respectable. She's got 9 kills tonight as well to go alongside Torres' 12. But when Pellman gets up there, man, she is up there.
Very much a heavy hand, too. You can hear it in the gym.
As Neva Foster, she was calling for a touch, but I think it was in regardless. So here's Michaela Lavoie. She'll serve into the net. So Bethany Roltho will return, and Dillon will enter for the Spartans. It's Hannah Joseph to serve, and she'll toss it way up and swing. Hadel will get it. It's going to bounce a few times off the basketball court. Oh, man. Off the hoop, rather, as Christensen is able to get it after Erickson, Pellman, Rothel's there, but it's going to be into the bleachers.
So close. And specifically, this serve is a topspin, which the Cougars and in general a lot of women's volleyball doesn't really see too often. So once it's in, it's hard for them to pass.
As Rothel's able to get that one, a swing from Christensen back row, but out of sync, and it'll head into the net as well. 10-6 Spartans. The Cougars are going to need to find something if they want to avoid a sweep here tonight on their home court. This team usually plays well at home, as Neva Foster's playing well all night. That is her 11th kill. Milena Adler for CUC. Torres, Joseph, out to Dillon. Dillon swings. Christensen's got it. Here's Adler, and she'll set Foster, Erickson, Joseph, Pellman. Kate Pellman.
She just finds that hole and just drills it down against the Cougars. And it's just such a heavy hand that it goes straight down when she finds that hole.
Into serve again, that's Lippy. And Dickin will set it back to Lippy. Joseph out of the net. Torres blocked, but out of bounds. So 7-11 in favor of the Spartans. Here's Caroline Lippy again from the service line. Foster, Adler will set Foster. Foster swings. And right at the feet of Caroline Lippy, nothing to do about it.
When she finds that line, she really paints it. Getting a lot of kills right there, especially when they're blocking line and you find that hole. It's hard for the defensive player, especially the middle back, to pick that up.
Yes, here's Torres. Marin will get a touch, but it'll head out. And another kill for Torres. And for Pellman, her season high came back on October 19th against MSOE. She had 21 kills. So not afraid to keep swinging, and probably won't get to that 21 mark if we finish in 3 tonight, but certainly on pace if we were to go to 5 to reach or break that career high, as that one will go in favor of the Spartans off the ceiling onto their side of the floor. So we'll stay right here while the teams take a timeout. CUC 8, Aurora 13. If we just run through the stats right now for CUC, it's Neva Foster, 12 kills, 4 errors, hitting .258 with a block. Eve Dickens, 6 kills, 1 error, 312. Jordan Brown's got 2 kills, 2 errors. She is flat 0. Michaela Levoy, 1 kill and a block as well, 143. Harmony Cooper, 1 kill at 333 for Aurora. Lulu Torres, 14 kills, 1 error, hitting at 500 with 7 service aces and 6 digs. Kate Pellman, 11 kills, 407 and an assist. Izzy Jackson, 6 kills, 2 errors, hitting at 400 with 4 blocks. Lily Vance, 5 kills, 4 errors, hitting at .083 with a dig. And Aaron Henkel, 2 kills, 2 errors. As little miscommunication there with the whistle, as Erickson will roll the ball to CUC side. Not exactly sure what happened there, Van.
Not sure if it was the clock, if they didn't hear the whistle, but or if they were out of row, but the Cougars got the point nonetheless.
So Rothel, Lippy, Joseph, Dillon, Adler, and Rothel is going to dive for it, but it's going to head into the bleachers. 14-9. And Cougars are running out of opportunities here to climb back into this one, looking for a reverse sweep. As here's Ruse. And Brown will take it. Dickin. And Marin will just send it over. Lippy. And there was a good swing by number 12, Izzy Jackson. Cougars got hands-on but fell on the CUC side. So Ruse will continue from the service line. As they'll go right back at Jordan Brown. Marin will send it over. That time out to Torres, blocked. That's Dickin and Levoy over there. Torres will just bump it over. Rothel. Adler's going to step back to Dickin. Dickin swings, and that'll be out of bounds. It'll hit the stick.
Torres having an exceptional night, close to getting a career high of just points per game. Overall, she's had a highest of 24, and she's at 21 right now. Already breaking her record for this season.
As the attack from the service line is clear from Aurora, it's right at Jordan Brown. As there's Lulu Torres going to add on to her totals for the evening. And I bet you I know right where this ball is going, Van.
Right to Torres.
Right at the freshman Brown, and then you're right. Once it gets back to the Spartan side, it is probably going to Torres.
To Torres. Specifically, if I was a server and if I was the coach for Aurora, finding the weakest passer, not saying Brown is a weak passer, but she hasn't been passing all game, and she was subbed in second set. And you have 2 DSs in at the exact same time, too, and a DS/Lib with Rothel. So I would be serving to the person that's hitting, and that has to transition to make sure they're somewhat out of system and force it to dick in.
And I would like to think that part of the scouting report is knowing who plays and who doesn't, right? Jordan Brown came into tonight only playing in 8 sets, and she's played in 2 here tonight. So maybe that's just, hey, there's a new face on the floor right now that we don't have a lot of film on, hasn't seen a lot of collegiate action. Let's just go right at her. Unfortunately for CUC, I'm not sure that it's mattered up to this point, right? As they've trailed pretty much all night long with the exception of just a few points, but they have not been able to really take a hold of the lead or sustain a lead once they've had that, and even that was only just a couple points. So we're going to come back here to finish off set 3 at 17-9 in favor of Aurora. As here's Ruse, and that's going to go out. So maybe the break that CUC needed to end the attack there by Caitlin Ruse. So it's going to be Katie Hadel to serve for CUC. It'll be over to Lippy. And a good swing there by Izzy Jackson. You know, we saw CUC handle that quick set early, but it seems like the last few times Jackson's just had her way with that.
Yeah, and towards the end of the game, momentum is losing. The Cougars are really at this point where if they just set up a block and the Spartans find around it, they're getting those numbers and getting those kills.
As here's Brown. Brown's swing pretty good, as that'll hit the ceiling, and Pellman will just have to send it over to Hadel. And Brown will go once more, just tapped that time. Pellman over, touched by CUC. Adler, Brown 3 in a row, can't get over this time. (19-10). And this will be Torres, left to right on your screen. As Marin will take it, Milena Adler will set Brown once more. That's 4 straight sets from Adler to Brown. Pellman will send it over. Hadel, Adler will go to Brown again. This time is going to fly out. And Cougars in danger of a clean sweep here tonight on their home court. There's Torres. Marin. Brown will have the second touch, and Hadel will send it over, a free ball for the Spartans. The set, Joseph Pellman. Kate Pellman. Once more, the Spartans. That duo tonight has been on, and there's been very little that Concordia Chicago has been able to do about it. 21-10, here's Torres, and that one will go into the net.
If I was a Spartans during that row, I would just cheat to the outside pin, seeing that Brown was their main option, and they were out of system a lot for the Cougars, really only had one viable option, just setting up that block, putting up a triple block, but really the Spartans didn't do that, allowing Brown to get some touches in the backcourt.
Well, it seems that the Cougars have really only had one option. When Foster's on the court, they set Foster, as they do now. When Brown was on the court, they set Brown. When Dickin was on the court, they set Dickin. But here we go, back-to-back with Foster again, as here's 3 in a row in the same rally for Foster. This one's put down. And for CUC, it's really been the story all day long, just unable to go to anybody else and too predictable. Aurora's been able to have hands up and defense in the right position.
And really in this row, running a slide or something, just diversifying your offense, but when you just go outside, and not having a right side in, right back, if you're de-icing, not having an option to hit really is a struggle when you're not in system.
And maybe part of that is due to the absence of Jesselyn Perkins, right? We talked about that. Is such a huge component of CUC's offense, and she left early in set 1, and really CUC's been unable to recover since then.
Run the middle here.
As Joseph will set Pellman. Pellman will tip it over, and that'll find the floor. So now CUC down to the final point of the evening if they can't get it. Aurora will take this one in a clean 3 sets, as they'll stay alive for just a little bit longer, as Nelson's set's going to sail out of bounds. In for Nelson comes Izzy Jackson. And Levoy will serve. It's Levoy, Christensen, Hadel, Foster, Cooper, and Adler for CUC here. Their backs against the wall. The serve's going to go to Pellman. Pellman's going to swing, blocked. Cooper's going to block it. Adler, Christensen will go set. And Foster will just have to send it over and set Aurora up once more. And this time, it's Aaron Henkel to close the evening. And the Spartans will take set 3, 25-12. In set one, it was 25-15 Spartans. Set two, 25-20, and here to close it out, 25-12. Well, the Spartans will take the 15th consecutive game against CUC. And for CUC, they'll now fall to 1-8 in the conference and 9-13 overall. For Aurora, they'll move to 15-10 overall, 8-1 in conference. Well, before we sign off, Van, I just want to get your thoughts here on the evening from CUC. Obviously, they lose Jesselyn Perkins early and really struggle to find momentum offensively and defensively. What did you see tonight from CUC?
Their first contact, really their serve receive struggled on the night, and without Perkins not having that extra option, they really were forced to just go to their outside, having Foster, and with Brown coming in the second set, having almost 10 attempts, and when Eve was in, she only had 18, and she played all 3 sets. So when you're trapped in that position, it's really easy to set up a defensive scheme against the Cougars. And coupled with just the way the Spartans played, a very consistent team, a team that's leading right now the conference and is tied for that first place and might take first right now with that win, just not having those options really led to their downfall.
And for the Spartans, it was a pretty exciting night. Obviously, they had success on the floor, but as we talked about, the 1,000th career kill for Lulu Torres, as well as she's getting to celebrate with the team right now. It'll be a fun bus ride home for the Spartans. Now let's look at the stats here real quick. The team comparison throughout the night, 102 attacks for Aurora, 47 kills, hitting at 373, 13 service errors. If there was one part for the Spartans that wasn't great tonight, it was from the service line. 46 digs and only 1 block. For CUC, 89 attacks, 23 kills, hitting at 112. 4 service errors for the Cougars, 37 digs and 4 blocks. Individual leaders, it was Lulu Torres, led all players with 15 kills, hitting at 500, an impressive mark, as well as 7 service aces. For Kate Pellman, 13 kills. Izzy Jackson, 8 kills. And Lily Vance, 5. For CUC, led by Neva Foster, 12 kills, 5 errors, hitting at 184. Eve Dickin, 6 kills, followed by Jordan Brown, 2. Levoy, Cooper, Christensen all had 1 apiece. Well, that'll do it here from River Forest, Concordia University, Chicago. Van Gato joining me tonight. Troy Prattley signing off the Cougar Sports Network.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.